I've been in the insurance and financial services industry for 30 years, and I've had my own financial planning practice. I've been in direct sales. I've been in a lot of different sales management and sales training positions. I've actually run the entire financial services program for a pretty large bank that we integrated it with their P&C and lending operations. And so varied experience, but I would say my specialty is the integration of all financial services products with all insurance products, and not selling them separately, but selling them together. So
Are objections a necessary evil when you're engaged in insurance sales?
I used to think they were. I'm probably a lot like everybody on the call, that you start out and you're not very good and you're not very experienced, and you try to sell stuff and people object, and you get frustrated. I think I just got frustrated more than most, and it really, really bothered me, and I really spent a lot of time thinking about it and studying it, even to the extent of looking at it from a psychological and physiological, I hope you guys have had your coffee this morning, standpoint, to really understand why are they objecting, and is there an alternative? And one of the things that I think is very frustrating for me when I see agents, and especially when they're working with their teams, is I think the industry does a really poor job of they do a great job of sending the wrong message. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
They will usually say, ask everybody, without any specifics about how those things are asked and how those things are presented. And, a lot of agents are golfers, so I'll use a golf analogy. So
Perfect.
if you are on the driving range or you're teeing off and you're trying to hit the ball straight, but you don't have a very good stroke, and you're gonna hook it or slice it into the woods or into the rough, hitting the ball over and over and over again wrong doesn't make you any better. It just makes you really good at hitting the ball incorrectly. And so I hear people say, well, ask everyone. Well, if you're asking everyone in a way that creates objections, and we'll talk about that in a little bit, all you're going to do is continually make yourself feel bad. And frankly, you're going to waste a lot of opportunities. I mean, you may even have a large book of business, but eventually if you ask everybody incorrectly and they all say no and they label you a product peddler, your opportunity is going to shrink, and sales that you should have otherwise made are going to go away. So I don't feel that objections are inevitable, but I think if you're not shown how to avoid them or handle them properly, I think they will be inevitable. So I think it's one of those things that is really just not talked about enough, and not discussed enough, and not really understood enough. And, we always see these books, 756 ways to handle an objection.